Next on Worcester News Tonight, an airline is cutting flights at the Worcester Regional Airport. Why advocates say it's a problem. Plus, watching out for women in the wake of two high-profile incidents. What a Worcester club does to protect its visitors. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Brittany Schaefer. Cuts to the number of flights at Worcester Regional Airport are expected to start later this year. The airport's newest airline, American, is limiting their service from the city to Philadelphia. The decision comes just months after American began service here, and for one airport advocate, it's a significant problem. Our Cam Jandro is live in Worcester tonight. He joins us now with more. Cam?
Brittany, the Worcester Regional Airport has celebrated numerous achievements over the last year or so. They've had their 500,000th customer, and they've welcomed two new airlines into the city. One of those airlines is American, and they've been having a hard time filling planes to Philadelphia.
Less than 6 months after their first flight, American Airlines is cutting back their service leaving Worcester Regional Airport. 2 a day is being reduced to just 4 a week.
You can file this under growing pains, but at the same time, you got to file it under not good news. I mean, American Airlines, their business, if they were selling tickets, if these flights are full, they wouldn't be cutting flights.
Bill Randall is a longtime advocate of the Worcester Regional Airport. He has a blog focused on it. Randall is worried the reduced number of flights sends a bad signal to Delta Airlines, who is set to come to Worcester later this year.
I mean, if I'm Delta, I'm looking at this, I'd be scared. If I was, I'd be saying, like, if American's not making it work, what can we do?
In a statement, American Airlines says, "We're always evaluating our network based on supply and demand, and made the decision to adjust our schedule to meet the demand in the market."
We need to maybe double down on some of the marketing. We have to ask the airlines to market properly. I think maybe that hasn't occurred to the level we'd like.
Massport Chairman Lou Evangelitis says he considers the cuts as a small bump in the road in the airport's rapid growth.
We've got Massport invested over $100 million in Worcester's airport. We've got a $32 million landing system. I don't see any major alarms right now. I feel very positive about the future of Worcester's airport.
American's flights were billed as a convenient means of travel for the local business community. But Randall's blog, FlyORH, says flights to Philadelphia and New York are struggling to reach 50% capacity.
This is a warning shot to Worcester. Based on what we're having for success right now to two hubs with JFK and Philadelphia, I really don't think it's a good idea to think about bringing Delta to Detroit right now. I mean, we don't want a loser.
Now you'll be able to fly to Philadelphia from Worcester on Mondays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. And those changes are expected to take place in June. Live in Worcester tonight, I'm Cam Jandro, Worcester News Tonight.
A 44-year-old Worcester man is arrested after threatening Kelley Square Pizza employees with a BB gun. The incident happened Monday night when Antonio Judd wouldn't leave the restaurant. Night supervisor James Morin says he asked the man to leave after he stumbled in drunk and laid down at one of their tables. Morin says after asking the suspect to leave multiple times, he got aggressive and said, quote, "I've got something for you." He then pulled out the BB gun from his waistband.
I took the hand that was holding the gun, I pushed it up against the door frame, took his other hand, pushed it this way, put my foot underneath him, swept his leg. He dropped down, gun came out of his hand. I took his hands, I crossed them across his chest like this, and held him till one of our drivers could call the police. This being during our dinner time, people coming in and out, I didn't want our customers to have to see this.
Morin says he has never experienced anything like this. He says Worcester police and the owner of the pizza shop credit him with doing a great job holding down the suspect. The Worcester Police Department promotes 5 officers to sergeants Tuesday evening. 2 of the officers are brothers, but they aren't the only members of their family in the department. Michael and Thomas Dowd say it was a special moment being promoted together. The Dowd name is a legacy at the Worcester Police Department. Tuesday, brothers Michael and Thomas Dowd were promoted to sergeants.
It's exciting to be promoted in the department, especially with my brother. So did a lot of hard work, a lot of studying hours, and so we're excited to do it together, that's for sure.
But Michael and Thomas aren't the only members of their family on the force. A total of 6 siblings are currently serving in the Worcester Police Department following their father, who served for 42 years.
One right after the other, they became policemen. My time on the job was very special. I was the lead hostage negotiator crisis intervention guy. One of the toughest jobs I've ever done in my life.
I wanted to be a police officer since I was a little kid. My father always said it was never a day he went to work and he didn't want to be there.
Michael Dowd says it's always a blast working with family.
It's a lot of fun, really. We like to joke around at home and at work when we have some downtime. We have a good time.
The brothers say they may work with each other, but their work has given them a much bigger family.
Where else can you go to work and be with your friends every day and just enjoy what you're doing, so it's great.
It's fun to be part of a family, but when you become a police officer, really everyone you're working with becomes part of your family. It's really the truth. You're really a tight-knit group, and everyone I work with are my brothers and sisters.
And the Dowd family consists of 8 boys, 6 of which are officers, and the other 2 are also in law enforcement at the Worcester County House of Corrections. A meeting in Boston today where city leaders are discussing safety around bars and nightclubs. It comes in the wake of the kidnapping and death of a young mother. Here in Worcester, one city hotspot says they are always on guard to protect their customers. Our Anna Botari has the story.
Boston police met with Boston nightlife venues to discuss safety in the wake of 2 recent abductions. Today we spoke with venues in the city like the Palladium on what they're doing to keep women safe. Safety concerns for women are on the rise after 2 high-profile abductions in Boston.
This isn't a women's issue. This is a community issue. This is a societal issue. This is an institutional issue that has to be addressed on multifacets.
Heidi Sue LaBeouf counsels women who are victims of sexual violence. She says the discussion shouldn't be about blaming women or their friends. It should focus on why the violence happens.
Start looking at what's going on in society that makes people think that they can harm each other so violently and horribly.
Tuesday, Boston police met with Boston Night Spots to discuss safety. In Worcester, the Palladium says it's their top concern.
First thing is a great security staff. We have over 40 security staff members. Second thing is we use security cameras. And we have paid police details that are here for every single one of our events.
General Manager Chris Besaw says they're an all-age live music venue and are very strict with their alcohol policies. Security personnel are also placed throughout the venue as well as at each door.
When people are entering and exiting, they're looking to see if there's anything that's not quite right, and they can step in and get involved and bring the police details involved if they need to. We also core check all of our security staff members, so making sure the right people are working here.
Besaw says safety meetings are also a crucial part of their day-to-day operations.
Every single night before an event, we have a staff meeting, we have a security meeting. We also have a security meeting with the tour that's coming through. So we're always constantly updating the policy for that night and any new regulations that we're enacting or the city is enacting.
LaBeouf says she encourages meetings like these.
Coming together as a community, having these conversations and figuring out solutions really is what we need to be doing more of.
And LaBeouf says she hopes that conversation continues. In Worcester tonight, I'm Anna Botari, Worcester News Tonight.
A pickup truck crashes into a Millbury home early Saturday morning, severing the gas meter, causing the house to go up in flames. Thankfully, all 5 residents were able to get out safely, but the family dog ran away. The 6-year-old black lab has been spotted several times, but the family says she is so skittish, she is afraid to go near people. Anyone who sees Coda is asked to call animal control.
She's missing part of her left ear. She was one of our rescues. She's sweet, gentle, but very, very, very skittish. So if she's called, she's going to run.
A Facebook page fundraiser has also been started to help the family raise money to replace their belongings. Business owners are picking up the pieces after an early morning fire on Lincoln Street. The fire department says the flames were very intense and owners are in disbelief about how much damage it caused. Our Rosalind Flaherty has the latest.
I don't even know what to say. It's like, wow.
The business Jaslyn Blandino's parents own is destroyed after an early morning fire.
This was like one of my first jobs. I've always helped my parents.
The Worcester Fire Department says the 3-alarm fire broke out around 3 a.m. at this commercial building on Lincoln Street. The flames and smoke described as very intense when firefighters arrived.
This fire had been smoldering for hours. It was a labor-intensive fire to overhaul.
R&R Urban was one of 5 businesses impacted. Blandino says the store sold a little bit of everything like clothes and phones. Her family's been there for 11 years and they just renewed the lease.
Everything's gone. Everything, even there's water damage downstairs. Whatever's not damaged by the fire is damaged by the water.
As Blandino looks over the damage Tuesday, her family now has to figure out where to go from here.
Now what? From here, we just 2 years ago we lost our apartment also to fire, so it's like now our store.
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
A recent outbreak in hepatitis A across the state put health officials in Worcester on alert, and a city program is doing its part to stop the disease from spreading. The city's Quality of Life Task Force and other agencies spent the last few months checking in with the homeless population to make sure they are vaccinated against the disease. Doctors at St. Vincent Hospital say vaccinations are crucial to stop the spread of the disease, which is typically common in homeless people and drug users.
People shed the virus in their stool, and therefore if they don't wash their hands properly, or if there's poor personal hygiene, etc., then people can transmit it. And these are folks who unfortunately don't have access to good hygiene issues and water, etc., and so food safety is a problem for them as well.
And according to the Associated Press, most shots were given at the more than 50 clinics held at homeless shelters, drug rehab centers, and soup kitchens. Auburn police identified the man accused of stealing a purse last week. They say the suspect is 42-year-old Daryl Gallivan of Worcester, pictured here. According to police, he smashed a car window at the Auburn Mall and took the purse. They've issued an arrest warrant for him.